All right. Hey, if you are here, then that means that you need help with ATI. And I promise you, you have come to the right place because the tips and tricks that I'm about to introduce to you, I guarantee they will help you pass your ATI test. They helped me. Unfortunately, I learned them at the last minute. This is not a gimmick, so just stay tuned and hear me out, hear what I have to say. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is the number one book that helped me with ATI is a comprehensive NCLEX review. I have my notes that I've written down for y'all because I don't want to skip anything. Now, the ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review. This is a wonderful book. All right. This book is a condensed version of everything nursing that ATI offers. Check this out. Pharmacology book. You see how thick this book is? RN Med Surg, ATI. You see how thick this book is? Mental health. Nursing leadership. That's pretty thin. RN Nursing Care of Children. And I'm missing my OB book. But for those of you who are taking ATI, you know what that OB book looks like and how thick it is. Now, the purpose of me showing you the thickness of these books is to tell you that here, all the books together, everything except for that OB book. The purpose of me showing you the thickness of these books is to show you that the ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review is this thin. Okay? And it's a condensed version of all of this information. It's a condensed version of all of this information. That's the importance of this book. You have to get the Comprehensive NCLEX Review. The ATI, I keep leaving out ATI. The ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review book. I don't have it here to show you because somebody is actually borrowing mine. But I'm telling you, pharmacology, nursing care of children, leadership, mental health, med surg, that ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review is a condensed version of all of these books put together. It would behoove you to get that book. Invest in this book. If it did not come in your bundle, go to ATI. I don't work for ATI, okay? So I am not trying to sell you anything. This is what I have found that helped me the most. I am not working for ATI. This really helped me more than anything in passing ATI. If you don't have it in your bundle, go to ATI's website and go under books and look for the ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review. It is a condensed version of all of the subcategories of nursing that I just showed you, okay, with those books. What I did with that book is I would record myself reading the book. I created a kit, a study kit. Of course, it has my highlighters in it. My recorder, which was a lifesaver. And one more thing. Hold on. Here we go. My headset. This recorder and my headset was a lifesaver for me. I would read that book and I would record myself. And as I record myself in the middle of recording, I would ask myself a question while recording. For instance, if I'm talking about the 4 chambers of the heart, and I'm reading, I would say, Cola, the heart consists of 4 chambers. The left atrium, the right atrium, the left ventricle, the right ventricle. So I've stated the information. On that same recording, in the next breath, I would say, okay, Cola, how many parts of the heart are there? 4. And I would leave myself time to answer the question. So it would be a silent space like this, crickets. And then I would say, yes, correct, 4. And then I would proceed to reading the rest of the material. Cola, could you name the 4 parts of the heart? Silence. Correct. The 4 parts of the heart are the left atrium, the right atrium, the left ventricle, the right ventricle. Correct. And I will proceed to continue to read. So throughout my recording, throughout my reading, I would record. And on that recording, I would ask myself questions and leave myself a blank space. And after that blank space, I would then I would say the answer. I would say the answer and then proceed with my reading. Again, the purpose of that would be so that when I listen to it again, I could answer myself back by asking myself questions that was on the recording. I hope that makes sense. And I found that to be very, very helpful. The benefit of recording yourself allows you to move away from the table, from the study table, from the room that you're normally studying in. It gives you the freedom to wash clothes, walk around the block, walk the dog, wash dishes, clean up, do whatever. You go to a football game, a baseball game, a basketball game, and have your headset on. Smack myself. Have your headset on and listen, and it allows you to listen to your study. It allows you to listen to your study wherever you are, in the grocery store, walking the dog, changing the cat litter, changing the baby's diaper, whatever it is that you're doing. It allows you to still study at the same time. It frees up your time. That's one benefit. The second benefit is you could listen to the tape over and over and over and over and over and over again. My issue is that my reading is kind of slow. And my reading is only slow because while I'm reading, I'll find that I've wandered off into la la land. And I'll have to ask myself, what was it that I just read? I will totally forget what I just read. And I'll have to go back to the beginning of the paragraph and start my reading over again. And then I might just drift off somewhere else and forget what I read again and have to go back again. And so with recording, while I might drift off, I know that I'll come back around to listening to it. So it keeps me on track. It keeps me at a particular pace instead of me having to go back to the beginning and read the paragraph again as I would with a book. So that is the benefit of recording. And when you do find that you drift off while listening to your recording, because you will, just know you may be tempted to rewind it, but don't rewind. Just make it through the entire recording. Make it through the entire recording because you know you're going to get to go back and listen to it again once you listen to it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. You're going to be able to listen to it all over again. So do not waste your time rewinding because you'll be able to listen to it all over again. So 2, recording yourself and listen to the playback, it frees up your time. And tip, again, do not rewind because you missed something. Just know that you're going to just finish listening to it all the way through, knowing that on the second or third or fourth time around, you will hear it again. Now, if you say, well, this is not a good method for me because I'm not an audio learner. I beg to differ, because I didn't consider myself an audio learner. I considered myself more of a visual learner. And I had to tell myself, for the sake of time, because you know those nursing tests, they come, they wait for no one, they come. And when you're reading 4 chapters and the 200 and 300 pages, there is no way you can retain all of that information. So you have to you have to act as a chameleon. You have to adapt to particular situations in order for you to be successful. And I had to adapt to becoming an audio learner. I had to think about the fastest way for me to pick up the information, and that was by way of this tape and these headphones. Okay, so I just told myself, okay, Cola, you're not used to studying this way, but you're going to. That's just it. You're going to. So when I would listen to it, I would hone in on my voice. I would focus on my words and the things that I was saying. So it's a pretty simple method. While you're listening, focus on your words. And you want to ask yourself questions while you're recording, because it will engage you and pull you into the recording. That's another reason why you want to ask yourself questions. Now, when you ask yourself questions, make sure you give yourself the answer too, but give yourself enough time to answer, to say the word, because you want to answer on the playback. And then give yourself about 5 or 10 seconds to answer. And then after that, state the answer on your recording, okay? And you want to do that while recording, because that will engage you in your recording, all right? So when you're listening to the playback, focus your mind on your voice, focus on your ears, focus on your headset. And that's what I had to do. I had to intensely focus and hone in on my voice. And it worked for me. Now, the first time of listening to yourself read, or your notes, you can either listen to yourself read, or you can record your notes. Whatever it is you feel like you want to do, what will work for you. The first time you listen to it, you may feel like you're not picking up anything. And you may feel like that because this is your first time hearing this information. But trust me, you are subconsciously picking up this information. All right? When you listen to it the second time, it may be a little bit more familiar. The third time for me was the magic. Okay? The third time for me was the magic. That's when it would be like ding, 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 ding. And sometimes I would even know the word, that I would know the reading verbatim. So record your studies. Record while you're reading, or record your notes. Again, it is very, very beneficial. And I would use this again. I told you while washing dishes, while cleaning up, or doing whatever. But I would also, first thing in the morning when I wake up, after I say my prayer and I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, guess what? As soon as I get out of bed, I hit play. And I'm listening. While I'm brushing my teeth, I'm listening. Washing my face, I'm listening. Putting my clothes on, I'm listening. Eating my breakfast, I'm listening. I'm telling y'all, it's beneficial. See, you can't read a book and brush your teeth at the same time. Read a book and wash your face at the same time, even while you're on the toilet. So this is very beneficial. This recording and this headset, it was a lifesaver. Now, I'm showing you this, and this recording does not have a cord. So this is not a Bluetooth recording. I actually have another headset to go with this that plugs into the holes here. Okay? And I'm just not showing you that. That's upstairs in my bedroom somewhere. But it plugs into these holes. Now this headset is a Bluetooth headset, and this actually, I use this with my phone, and we'll get to that, okay? So I actually had a headset that had a cord that plugs into this. But I'm telling you, first thing in the morning, hit play. While you're getting ready in the morning, making your breakfast, fixing coffee, cooking food, I'm telling you, please invest in your study kits. Bam, your voice recorder. Bam, a headset with a plug that goes in there, okay? and one with well, I was gonna say and one with the Bluetooth, but even with the headset that has a cord that goes in here, you could use that same headset and plug it into your cell phone as well. So get your study kit. And guess what? I kept this recorder in this bag along with my highlighters so that I could highlight in my ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review Guide. And I called that my study kit. Please get you one. Oh, it changed the game for me, where I was reading one chapter a day or one chapter. Oh my, it was just bad. Oh God, it was just so bad. The reading, oh God, it was just so torturous. It was so bad. It just kept me at a slow pace. But while recording, I would get through 3 chapters in one day. Okay. And I had a system where I would complete the entire book, the entire ATI Comprehensive NCLEX Review. I would complete the entire book in 3 days as far as listening to it. I would complete it in 3 days. And so on the 3rd day that I completed, I start all over again on page 1 and listen to it all over again. And on that and then the next 3 days, which would be the second set of 3 days, on that 3rd day, I'd start all over again on page 1 and listen to it again for the next 3 days. That's a full completion for me with that book. And so, it allowed me to listen to the whole book at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week. The whole book at least 3 times a week. Now, let me go back and say, if you get lost in your reading like I do, you seem to drift off into la la land. When you are recording yourself as you read, don't even worry about when you're drifting off, going back to the beginning of the paragraph. Don't worry about going back. Just continue to read, because the recorder is picking up everything that you're reading, even when you're mentally there or not. So there's no need to go back. Okay? Just continue the reading. So get your book, read the entire book on record. Okay? Hone in on the words so you won't go into la la land. You do want to focus. You want to refrain from going into la la land. So focus on your book while you're recording yourself and read. Okay? If it takes you 5 days to finish that book, use the 5 days. If it takes you 6 days to finish the book, use up the 6 days. But finish that book on record. Okay? Make sure you're recording that book. And after you have the book recorded, then it's now the whole book is recorded on your recorder, and you can listen to it as often as you like. Now, do not procrastinate in doing this. This is not something that you can do at the last minute and expect success. It's not going to happen. You cannot do this at the last minute and expect success, okay? So when you, in the beginning of school, when you first start the program, when you get this video, order your book immediately if you don't have it and start recording. All right, start recording and go ahead and get it over with so that you can be listening to it throughout your time in school. And by the time it comes for you to start taking the ATI exit exams and things of that nature, the ATI and taking the ATI tests that really count, you will be ready. Don't let yourself slip, because here's the information right here. Here's the information right here. Here's the golden nugget right here. Record yourself and you can listen to it as many times as you can. And this recording is going to get you, listening to this recording is going to keep you at a faster pace than reading the book. Okay? All right, so that's that. Now, another tip on books As far as your med-surg book or any other book that you are studying from, make sure you pay attention to the nursing safety priority boxes and the safety alert boxes. Those boxes is general nursing knowledge, and you're going to come across those questions and that information on your NCLEX, in ATI, on your school test, your school exams. You are going to come across those same, nursing safety priority boxes and safety alert boxes. I'm trying to find something for y'all. Y'all look at this book. This is how much I was studying. Look at this. Can you see all this? Can you see all this highlights? Can y'all see all that? That is how much I was studying for the test. Why can't I find any priority questions? Priority boxes. Here we go. All right. For example, here, this is a critical rescue. This is nursing safety priority right here. Here's another nursing safety priority right here. Make sure y'all know these. Okay, again, that's important general nursing information. Important general nursing information. Know those boxes because you are going to see them. All right. Again, you're going to see them on ATI. You're going to see them on your regular nursing exams. You're going to see them on your NCLEX. Those are must knows. You must know those. Okay. Now, as far as the internet is concerned, there were two people that I looked at. One lady was named Sarah RN. That's what her YouTube channel was called. Sarah RN is Together. And she goes over the ATI comprehensive review. And she reads. And so she's reading it and she has the notes up on YouTube as well. Well, let me tell you, she's pulled out the most important information. Now, all of the information in that book is important, but she doesn't have everything in that book, but she has a whole lot. And I listen to Sarah the RN regularly. And that's where my cell phone, my little Android. That's what my Android and my Bluetooth, and I like my Bluetooth headset came in there. I love my Bluetooth headset because I can't stand the headset that goes in your ears. I love this. So this is where this Bluetooth headset, it went with this, my phone. And so I would listen to Sarah RN on here. And again, while I'm in the grocery store, while I'm at the lake, sometimes I go to the lake and study. While I'm doing various things, I will be listening to Sarah RN if I wasn't listening to myself. And again, as Sarah RN is going over, as she is reading the ATI comprehensive guide, her notes are also posted up at the same time. So you can read while she's you can read the notes while she's reading up. You can read along with her. Okay. The thing with Sarah RN is her voice. I'm used to a stronger voice, but her voice was very light, mild, and wasn't really direct. And she talks really fast. And it just wasn't my style of teaching. So I had to adapt to her. And at first I was turned off by her voice. I know that sounds bad. I love you, Sarah. You helped me a lot. But I had to adjust myself to her. Okay. So in nursing, you learn that you have to adjust like a chameleon to the situation, because nursing school is not going to conform to you. You're going to have to adjust or conform to it. And that's why I had to make myself become an auditory learner, and I had to make myself get adjusted to Sarah's voice and the speed of her talk, because she talks really, really fast. And at first I wasn't really picking up what she was saying, but after listening to her over and over again, I started picking it up, and I appreciated the fact that she spoke fast, because her clips were shorter than the other ones that I had listened to. And her, again, she reads from the ATI, and it's pretty verbatim, except for some things she leaves out. And I know it's verbatim because I followed her I've listened to her and had my ATI book open, and I followed along that way before. And in doing that, I did notice that she leaves some things out. So with that being said, you still want to open your ATI comprehensive NCLEX review, and you don't want to rely 100% on Sarah, because she does leave some out. But make sure you're listening to her. She is very good. Very good. If you've read the book and you listen to Sarah, listen to yourself sometime, you will see what I mean. She's very good. And it helped me out a lot. That was Sarah. Oh, Sarah also has, another thing you need to know about Sarah is that she has pre-typed notes that you can order. So if you are the type that like to write your own notes, then that's fine. But do that and order Sarah's pre-typed notes. Let me tell you something. You're in the nursing program. Realize that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. There are people on the waiting list waiting to be in your position. And just pinch yourself and know that this is real. You are actually sitting in the nursing classroom. You probably didn't think that you were going to get in, but you got in. And so now you have to grab the bull by the horns and do everything that you need to do to pass, okay? And with that being said, you have to conform to different ways of learning, to new ways of learning. If the old ways aren't working for you in the nursing program. And just like I had to make adjustments with Sarah's voice and the speediness of her talking, and becoming an audio learner, I had to do those things. I had to adjust, and just to be successful. And you too have to do those things. So grab the bull by the horns and make it do what it do. You are in the nursing program. This is real. You may not get this chance again, so make it work while you have the opportunity. So with that being said, even if you do write your own notes, get Sarah notes too. If you feel like you need them, get her notes too. You can never do, I was going to say you can never do too much, but you can do too much to the point to where you're scattered all over the place. But just as long as you're being organized and you're studying the same material. For instance, if you're in the ATI program, you're studying ATI and not studying UWorld, okay? There's another nurse that I listened to online, and this was, I forget her name, but she was really cool. I really liked her. She can be found at Level Up RN. 3 words, Level Up RN. She does lectures as well. She has a lot of lectures. She does lectures as well. And if there were things that I needed to be explained in a little bit more detail than Sarah, that's who I would go to, because she does a little bit more explaining. Sarah just reads, but Level Up RN does a little bit more explaining. So if I needed some explanation, that's who I would go to. And then I would also go to my book for more detailed explanation. I would not just leave the explaining to a YouTuber, and not to say that she didn't know what she was doing, but I would want to back that up with some of the material that I was studying, if that makes sense. Also, Level Up RN, she also has flashcards. Flashcards really, really come in handy. I used to do flashcards, but I did not do them this go around. And I may say this go around because I was an LPN, and I was an LPN, so I had to go through LPN school, and in LPN program I used to make flashcards, but I did stop because I realized it took up a lot of time. So this go around in the BSN program, I told myself I was not going to buy I wasn't going to write flashcards. I was just going to have to find a way to learn that was just effective. And I guess you know what that is. My headset and my little voice recorder in here. And so that's what I used. Had I known about her flashcards at Level Up RN, I would have ordered them because they're already ready made. It doesn't take any time. When you're the only thing that I would still write on flashcards is bits and pieces of information that it was just hard to memorize. It was hard to commit to memory. Those were the only things that I would write on flashcards, and those were very far few and in between. But here they are, right here, right before you. Sarah, Level Up RN, she has flashcards. So as far as the YouTube is concerned, I listened to Sarah RN Comprehensive Review, and I listened to Level Up RN, and both of them have material that's beneficial to your study. Now, study time. Here it is, plain and simple. There's no way around it. You will have to put in study time if you want to be successful in nursing, if you don't want to have a heart attack every time you take a test, if you don't want to have a stroke every time you take a test, if you don't want to be on Xanax. You're just going to have to put in study time. You just are. I had to get to a point where I just had to tell myself, okay, Cola, you had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was the hardest thing to do, but once I got into the hang of it, I'm going to tell you, the first time I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I had a big jug of coffee, and I was still falling asleep. And gosh, it was a struggle, but I think I got used to it in about a week. And it was the best thing that I could have done because I was able to start studying before the energy of the day got started, before my phone started ringing, before texts started coming in, before shows that I was interested in started coming on, before my YouTube shows started coming on. So it's like the early bird gets the worm. So for me, 4 a.m. in the morning, the house was quiet. And I really got a chance to just dive in and study. So for me, and I'm sure there's others out there that are like me, you need to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning before the energy. Seriously, this is so important. And it's so important for you to get zoned in and honed into your study before the energy of the day starts to flow. Because when the energy of the day starts to flow, everything interrupts you. Your neighbor knock on the door and want to borrow some sugar. You're getting text all day from spam or phone calls, and then your mama call you because she needs you to do something, and then your kids call you and they want to chit chat. So, or whatever the case, your boyfriend calls you or your husband calls you or whatever the case. So before my day started going and the energy of the day and everything that comes along with that energy, I avoided that. And I avoided that by waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and studying. And when I started doing that and listening to Sarah RN, I would listen to Sarah RN and I would read the notes or either be listening to my headset doing stuff. And I noticed my points started to go up. I noticed my points started to go up. I really, really did. So there's no way around it. You're going to have to put in study time. So don't cheat yourself. Don't do it the night before because you will fail nursing school. You will. And there's no need for it because you're in the nursing program. You made it in. So you may as well grab the bull by the horns and make it do what it do. Let's see. Determine if you study better in a group or alone. For me, in the LPN program, I studied with a group, and when I tell you I passed, but it was wrong. I'm just not a group learner. because I'm a group talker, but not a group learner. The group was it just sidetracked me. You know, we would get together and compare, and we were supposed to be studying, but what would happen is we would compare notes. Well, what do you have? Well, I have this. Well, I didn't get that in lecture. Well, I didn't get that either. So you have this? Yes, I do. Well, girl, let me give it to you. You know, it was that type of thing. And I felt like I didn't get anywhere. And so I learned in LPN school that the best way to study for me was to study by myself, because I learn a different type of way. And I study a different type of way. Some people can just read and pick it up. I cannot do that. For me, it's repetition. And again, that's where that voice recorder comes in at, because you get to listen to your your studying and your reading repetitiously. And I learned that repetition is where the magic is. Repetition, 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 repetition. Remember when I told you may listen to your tape the first time and feel like that, and it may not resonate with you. It may feel odd, because you may feel like, wow, this is new information, I'm just not feeling it. You may listen to it the second time and be like, I don't know. The third time is the key. But still, with that being said, you have to listen to it intensely. Every time. The first time intensely, the second time listen to it intensely. And so in order to get it at period, you got to listen to it intensely each time you listen to it. So yeah, I learned that I have to study a different type of way. So a study group is not good for me. There's no way I could be in a study group and listen to my headsets. So that's how I study alone, listening to my headsets or reading out loud to myself and asking myself questions. Asking myself questions like I did on my recorder, to pull the answer out of myself. Repetition is key. And asking yourself questions and then stating the answer and explaining the answer to yourself, that pulls the information out of you. So the information that you have soaked in, when you ask yourself a question and you answer the question and then you explain the question, that pulls that information that you've retained out of you. And that's what flashcards do too. So and that's how I study. All right. So let's see. Of course, you want to highlight the notes in your book. That's what my little highlighter is here for. Stick with the material that the program is using. For instance, if your nursing program is using HESI, stick with HESI material. Don't go to UVerse and don't go to ATI. If your program is using ATI, stick with the ATI material. Don't go to HESI, don't go to UVerse. And I say this because each study program or each testing program or testing prep company, it has its own style, okay? It has its own style. And a lot of times it causes a lot of conflict and a lot of confusion. Once you really get into the study of ATI and you're listening to it and studying it on a regular basis, you will start to feel like ATI resonates with you and you will be comfortable with the energy of ATI. Trust me, each one of these testing prep companies have their own style and their own energy. And if you're studying UVerse, you can feel it. It's different than studying ATI. If you're studying HESI, it's different than studying UVerse. So you will be pedaling backwards or sideways if you're in a program that's focused on ATI, but you're studying UVerse. You do not want to do that. If your program is a program if your nursing program is using ATI as a test prep, then that is what you need to be studying so that you could submerge yourself in the energy of ATI and get used to the feel of ATI and learn how ATI asks their questions and just get a good feel of ATI. So stick with the study prep that your school is using. Don't be all over the place. It's already a lot of information to learn. Also, while you're studying, what I found was a lot of times I wanted to just instead of just staying at the same study table or being in the same study space, I would actually just take my comprehensive guide and go outside or whatever it was I was studying, go outside in my swing, and I would listen to it there. Sometimes I would ride in the car with my husband while he's running errands, and I would be listening to my material in the car while he's just riding around the city doing what he does. I really tried to get out of my space so that I could get some fresh air, a new scenery, a new feel, a new energy. And it really helped and it vitalized me while I was studying. It worked for me. Some people have to be in a particular spot and have to, and they have to be in a particular area, but that didn't work for me. It got boring. But studying is boring enough, and just being in the same place and studying, it really bored me even more. That is all I have. I know that was a lot of information, but let me pull out the key points here. Get that ATI Comprehensive NCLEX review. 1. 2. Highlight and study those nursing safety priority boxes and safety alert boxes. 3. YouTube is your best friend, and Sarah RN is your best tutor. She is. Sarah RN is your best tutor, and Level Up RN is your best tutor as well. Okay. I listened to Sarah RN the most. I only went to Level Up when I needed a little bit more explanation or detail, but for the most part, I went to Sarah RN. She was my best friend. And it was free nursing tutoring. Sarah RN has those pre-typed notes, and Level Up Nursing has those flashcards. Also, don't forget your study kit. When I tell you, this is a lifesaver. With your cell phone, along with your voice recorder, you will make it. My best friend. My best friend. Ask yourself questions while you're recording. Give yourself 10 seconds of silent space in the recording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that you can answer the question on your playback. Okay. It's the best thing I've ever done. It helped me through school. I mean, it lightened the load. Seriously. I started to see my grades come up. Also, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 or 5 in the morning, getting your day. Now, don't wake up at 5 and you got to be at work at 6. Okay? Wake up at 4. Give yourself enough time to study. Get some real good studying in. And get it done. Get it done. That helped me a lot. So I hope these tips helped. And I wish you all the best of luck. And stick with it. Just remember, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. There are some people who did not get into this program. There are some people who are on the waiting list, meaning they didn't get into the program, but you made it. You were in the program. You made it. So take full advantage of it. Grab the bull by the horn and do all that you need to do so that you can walk across that stage. Do all that you need to do to make it. Do not take it. Don't take advantage of the opportunity, but don't misuse your opportunity. Okay? Because this might be the only chance that you get. Good luck. Bye.